have a special treat, and it's 7. I don't think this is right, but it's how I'm doing it. I got a text message. I love this color. And here she is.
And the calling open road trip classics.
It's Matt, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you? I hope you are well. Before we jump into today's video, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. We just celebrated my 1,000 subscriber special with my little sister. We made, or attempted to make, a vintage heart cake together. So if you want to go see that, the video is posted below. It was a really good time, and I just wanted again to say thank you, and I'm so grateful for you. And I don't have words. If you are watching this video and you are not subscribed, this is officially me bullying you into subscribing. Subscribe. If you like DIY content, home renovation content, stuff like that. I've also been dipping my toes in the sewing world, so if you enjoy stuff like that, come hang out with us. I have an exciting year planned of projects. Speaking of projects, I am sitting in my desk slash entertainment slash filming space in our apartment, and this is the project we are currently working on. Last week we kind of did a plotting and planning, really cementing on my ideas for the space, what I needed the space to do in terms of form and function, and really deciphering what I already had, plus figuring out what I needed to curate and collect in order to finish up this space. Today, we are going to be continuing to make headway on this project in this space. I'm very excited. We are going to be working on my gallery wall that I'm putting up. I have already placed a cheeky little order into Etsy for some digital download prints. I think digital downloads are a great option, especially if you don't have time or money to spend on original art. I am a person who loves art, but I don't have the pocketbook right now to be able to afford the type of art that I like. So if you are strapped for money and or time, this is a great option. Etsy has tons of different options. There's tons of different shops that have different collections for different moods and different themes, anything you can think of. I went with this dark, moody, dark academia set. It is more in line with this like vintage academia portraits and landscapes set. This is more in line with the type of art I do enjoy, so that's why I went with this. It's more aspirational for me, if you will. And all I'm going to do is download them, pick the ones I like for the frames, and then send them to my local London Drugs and have them printed. And we can go pick those up later, not right now. Right now, we are going to be working on the DIY for this space. I had seen these photos on Pinterest when we looked last week, and they had mounted the computer to the wall and put a frame on it, or even just like framed it out on the desk. And I really want to do that. I have already done this project for my TV and kind of figured it out, so I can take you guys a little bit more in-depth, step-by-step on what I'm doing this time, so that if you wanted to do this yourself, you have a place where I'm telling you all the details and tips and tricks. This frame project is actually really simple. We just need to get our materials together first. I am using this really pretty, simply detailed trim that I got at my local hardware store, and I'm pairing that with a trim that is kind of a V shape. If you look at it, it's like an L or a J. I'm going to be putting these pieces together with wood glue and clamps. I got these at my local hardware store. They were like $2.50 Canadian, so they were a good price, and they're really simple to use. I'm using a pretty generous amount of wood glue. The rule of thumb with wood glue is you want more than less, so you want to apply the wood glue liberally, and when it squishes together, wipe away the excess and then clamp everything together, and that will create the tightest bond. And when in doubt, just follow the instructions on your wood glue. Next, I'm using my miter box and a handsaw. I love these tools. You can get a lot done with them. I'm just going in at the 45-degree angle and making my first cut. Please wear safety equipment, and if you need to, sand at least to give a tight, snug fit. I am just going to repeat this exact same process for all the other pieces until I have 4 identical pieces. My biggest tip here when doing this is to go back and forth with your measurements, and if you have something that you want to frame in particular, go off that instead of just measurements. It makes a lot more sense that way, and you can visually see where the angles are supposed to be. That way you don't get lost as easily. But if you are working just off measurements, I recommend drawing it out first with your miter lines and making sure you have your measurements for like your top end and your bottom end so that you don't get them confused. I did that when I made the frame, and I had to like Frankenstein it because I didn't do the math right. And on one side I used the inside measurement, and one side I used the outside, and it was a whole kerfuffle. So this way, either doing it right off the project that you're working on makes it a hell of a lot easier. I feel like Kendall Jenner with the cucumber. I don't think this is how I'm supposed to do it, but that's how I'm doing it. I think that might be the motto of this channel is, I don't think this is right, but it's how I'm doing it.
The fall is coming, I can feel it. The breeze brings goosebumps to my skin. Tonight the whiskey feels stronger. Gasoline on hidden desires. So I'll throw another.
Here's where we're at. I have made some like fancy dancy changes and like customizations to this frame that aren't exactly like a picture frame. The first being this bottom piece isn't going to get its like V casing because I don't want to put anything on this, like actually on it. I don't know. I think it's a speaker, so I want to let it breathe. So what I'm going to do is like glue, when I glue all the corners together, I'm only doing the like fancy outside trim, and I'm going to glue it and like float it so that there's space. You will see a little bit of the black on the bottom of the computer, but I am okay paying that price. For it to look more beautiful, I think it's gonna be okay. My next step is to glue everything together with the wood glue again, and I'm going to leave this to set overnight, and we will pick back up tomorrow where we can stain and get the gallery wall together. And here she is, all glued up and ready to be stained. Before I stain this, I want to show you guys a couple of things. I did have to Frankenstein a piece. I'm not a mathematician, okay? So just make sure you're measuring right, and when you go to get the pieces cut, just make sure, just triple check, because I triple checked and I still got it wrong. So anyway, my Frankenstein piece, it works fine. I'm not too upset about it. I've glued all the corners together with my 90-degree clamp. You can see in the back here, I also added some staples on the corners just for a little extra security. I don't really think I needed them, but I'm a more safe than sorry person, so I added them there. The next step for this bad boy is to stain him. I'm going to start with the back. I'm staining the whole piece. The stain I'm using is actually the same stain we used when we did my like window framing transformation in the window that's by this desk. So I think matching this stain with that will kind of tie those two things together without being like super matchy-matchy. And I'm just using a couple of rags and my handy dandy rubber staining glove. All right, while this dries, we got the second coat on there. While that is drying and curing, I got a text message from London Drugs saying my prints are ready. So I think I'm just gonna walk down there. It will be a nice little walk. It's really nice up today. It feels like spring is soon here in Victoria. So I'm gonna take a nice, beautiful walk in the crisp air and we'll go pick up our prints. That already looks so much better. It's still crooked and I still haven't decided if I like these things or not, so I just have one. I have been able to collect things that allow me to start to do some pretty progress. I found a desk that suits our needs for now. It isn't my perfect ideal desk, but I got this one on Facebook Marketplace for $35 and that is a steal. And I am thinking of a little refinishing project that we can do together to get it closer to what I want. I'm thinking we can stain it a little bit darker, refinish the top, make it feel new again. Hi baby, goodbye baby. And that will be next week's problem. But because I have that, I was also able to pull the trigger on a chair I've been looking at, and we've put that together. Oh. Oh, it came kind of crushed. Okay. The bottom pieces. Oh yeah, I love this color. Oh, yeah, I picked the right color. And then I think this is the seat, this bigger part. I was like 6, I didn't study away from home. I got homesick, you know.
Middle of the road, it's just a feeling of a distant melody unknown. I was doing fine.
You guys, this chair is everything. I didn't think it would be this big. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh! Yeah, this is fun. Jordan! Oh, shoot. Right? Oh, you fit! Okay, yay. So, the next step in this process, the next phase, is to finally put this art on the wall. I gave you guys a sneak peek of like the package that I bought. I got them all printed at London Drugs, and I've also cut out a bunch of like scrap newspaper into the size and shape of each of the frames, so we can start playing with them on the wall to see how we want to arrange this gallery wall without like hammering a bunch of nails into this wall. And I also had the desk up in this space, and I put this piece of tape there to indicate where the desk is so that I know height-wise and like scale-wise where things go. I know, this is so smart. lot of method to my madness here. Mainly, I use the splitting principle. It's just like a rule of thumb for a certain style of gallery wall. I took kind of roughly the half points vertically and horizontal and tried to line up the bottoms with those half points where I could. It kind of organizes the chaos without making it feel like patterny or matchy-matchy. And I also tried to make sure that I was also keeping a relatively even distance between all of the spaces. That doesn't work everywhere. Like this one I have to move out a little bit more and down, but I can do all of that in final processing. The next thing we need to take care of is mounting the computer. I purchased this mounting system. I just ordered this off Amazon, and the mounting system is pretty straightforward. It comes with instructions. I am just following those instructions and mounting this so that I can mount my computer.
I just wait for my black swan.
This is the fun part of the video. I'm going to put this space back together. I'm gonna put this space back together with the new desk we got, the new chair we got, clean up the floor, give the rug a nice vacuum, and just make sure everything's ready to go and we can wrap up this phase of the project and wrap up this phase of this makeover. And I think we can really see the vision start to come together. Okay friends, I am so happy with how this makeover is turning out. I'm really starting to see my vision come together, and that is so exciting when you can see how things are gonna work and you have all the major elements. I wanted to take a second before we wrap this video up to let you know that the next video we are going to be refinishing and restaining and gussying up this desk. Like I said earlier, this desk isn't my dream desk, but it was a great deal. It's the right size and it works for us in the meantime until I can come across my perfect antique find that fits every criteria I have. So in the meantime, I want to get the most use and the most love out of this one as possible. So we will be refinishing, restaining, and adding some beautiful detail to this desk next week, so stay tuned for that. I am so grateful to have you guys here. Thank you for coming along. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, or just want to say hi, please do so in the comments. I am always in there. I think there's maybe like, I've never not responded to a comment. So if you guys are in there, I will see it and I will read it. And I so love hearing from you. I will see you next Sunday. Bye. Oh, you want a baby? Let me see. I can get you a baby. I have a special treat and it's 7. He was sleeping, but I awoken him. All right, 7. What do you think of this project? He very much enjoyed getting the new desk. He liked sniffing it. He was very, very helpful. Are you gonna say bye to our friends? Bye.